What's going on, Mount Vernon? We are at Little Paws of Mount Vernon Cat Rescue and what's the other name? Because I forgot already. It's a rescue and cat rescue and adoption center. That's what it is. What's going on, Mount Vernon? We here to talk to them about exactly what goes on with the cat community because I am a big lover of cats. Would you guys introduce yourself to me, please?
I'm Emily Gerke. I'm the assistant director here, and this is also my mom.
I'm Carrie Gerke. I'm the owner and director of Little Paws Mount Vernon.
Guys, I've been in here for like 15 minutes. I did not know they was daughter and mother. Seriously, I did
You
not.
can't tell.
But anyhow, let me ask you this first question. What inspired you guys to find a rescue center that's centered around cats?
So I'm from Mount Vernon. I lived in Kansas City. My mother got sick. I started coming back to Mount Vernon to help take care of her. And I started noticing cats everywhere. Cats behind Kroger, cats at Arby's, Chili's, Sonic, Dollar General, Summersville, the parks, everybody's backyard. And I just decided to help the community after spending so many nights getting to know a colony behind Kroger that I went out and I got to know the colony and I tried to collect 38 of the cats that had been dumped. And I decided that after crying and getting upset and screaming and saying to myself, somebody needs to do something. And eventually, setting out there, getting to know the colony, it made it very clear that I was supposed to be the one to do it.
I worked at Applebee's, and what you just said just sparked my attention because I was not always a cat lover. My wife was the original cat lover. And so I just kind of like fell into that mold. Now I just love them. But I used to always see the cats running behind, like you said, Sonic and all. I was always wondering how did that happen? Then I found out how it happened. Could you explain how important it is for people to make sure that they get their cats spayed or neutered?
Yeah, it's a big problem. In Jefferson County, we have 2 vets, and an average female cat can really rack up the money. And if they're not your cats in the beginning, then you don't want to pay out all that money because a lot of the residents who live out in the rural parts are getting high numbers dumped on them daily. And we get calls for 45 to 55 and up for the amount of cats because they are actually breeding faster than what rabbits would. And so
I think it's important to just note that female cats can have up to 3 to 5 litters in a year. So that means that a mama cat can become a grandma cat by the end of 1 year.
I don't think people understand either. Young cats, like young kittens, when they first have them, how long does it take a female cat to actually start producing kittens?
So they can go into heat as early as 4 months old. So that means as soon as they hit their first heat, which typically is seen not until like 6 months old usually, but as soon as they hit that first heat, they can start having babies. We have had a cat in our facility that had babies at 6 months old, and she had 4 cats. She didn't have the babies in our facility, but she came to us with them, and it's really heartbreaking because they deserve that chance to be kittens themselves. So our goal was to start a low-cost spay and neuter program for the community so that they can stop dumping the cats when they get pregnant, and they have another source to go to help them when they need it for their pets, because we take care of our pets, and when we take care of our pets, they take care of us. And you don't have to spend a whole lot more money on babies and food when you get them fixed. You just take care of one instead of 8 or 9.
I think people like with me, I know some dog lovers might bite my head off. A dog, to me, is a species that could be inside or outside. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. A cat is not a species, in my opinion, it should be indoor or outdoor. But that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. And maybe because I don't live that far from her, I live on a major road, so we have a problem over here with a bunch of cats.
Like,
And so they just run in the road, and next thing you know, I've seen one hit, and then I gotta turn away, and it's just like, I don't like that.
yeah, and I was so overwhelmed when I started seeing the cat population that it literally broke me. It literally broke me on the inside. I became almost obsessed because the heartbreak that I would see with, like you said, cats laying in the road and they're getting hit and they're not being taken care of. So I started door dashing in Mount Vernon. I would find a kitten. I would DoorDash for the money to buy medicine. And then that's kind of how I started in my oversized 2-car garage on my property. And then we just started growing. I did 117 adoptions my first year. Now I rescued more. I rescued about 700, but I sent them to Chicago. And then last year we did 332 adoptions with one dog. We don't do dogs, but it was a rare case that we helped out in.
So, what makes your approach with cat rescue a little bit unique compared to municipal shelters? When I say municipal shelters, I mean I call them dog catchers, guys. The city shelters.
Yeah.
basically.
So, like everybody in Jefferson County, I didn't know what the difference between, the dog catcher and animal rescue was. So our tax dollars pays for the animal shelter to go out and retrieve animals. We don't have the staff to do that. We don't have the resource to go.
Or the funds.
Yeah, or the funds. So we are only, we're a 501c3 just like they are, but they also are an LLC. Now we are just strictly a private rescue. We don't have to take in to where the county does have to take in. So we step in when the county's full. Right before kitten season hit, I wanted to make sure that Jefferson County was empty. So we went 2 weeks in a row when we pulled everything in their cat room. Their longtime residents.
We tried to pull as many as we could.
Yeah. And so we wanted to our goal was to make sure that they were as empty as possible for the boom
season.
of the kitten season. However, the good news is because of our spay and neuter department, we have seen a less boom of kittens in our facility that people's contacted us and Jefferson County. So we have done about 500 spay and neuters. That was our count from last year in 6 months. And we do $100 for females, $90 for males with a deposit on the females that is refundable.
I also think that what differentiates us from animal control is that we're able to have cats that are free roaming. So even right now, Miss Lisa is sitting with us. So during the day upstairs, cats that aren't in quarantine, that have passed that quarantine period that we have in place here of 2 weeks, just to make sure that they're healthy, happy, and on the road to being adopted. They come upstairs and then they go into our second quarantine room just to give them that final, check through and make sure everything is healthy on them and then we haven't missed anything. And once they graduate from there, they come out and they can free roam the facility. And I think that not a lot of animal shelters, because they are so overmaxed, are able to give the cats that type of care. And not saying that we're like better than them or anything for being able to do that. That was just our goal and our vision for it. And we're super excited that we've been able to see that through, because this is amazing that we're able to just have cats around, and everybody who comes into the shelter, they're like, oh my gosh, we love seeing this. We love getting to see all the cats out and playing. And it really is just like a heartwarming feeling when you get to see like them on the cat trees and hanging out everywhere. It's amazing.